Okay. All right, I think I am live. Let me make sure that Mandy's got it. Hi, welcome. I am waiting for everybody to roll into the broadcast before I really get started, and I'm also waiting to hear from my team to make sure that our tech is working because, as many of you know, we are using a brand new streaming platform. So thank you for your patience. Just give me a second. Okay, cool. Looks like we are good on Facebook, we're good on YouTube, we're good on Twitter, and we're good on Instagram. So, first of all, good morning. If you're watching this in the United States, good morning. I'm Mel Robbins, and I'm super excited to be here with you for the next training in our Mindset Reset program. And for those of you that are new, that just signed up yesterday, we had thousands of people join the free program yesterday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you that have been in the program since the beginning, I'm thrilled that you're here. And I also want to say we are about to break 200,000 people in this mindset training program. And I could not be more humbled and more excited for what's going to happen in your life, knowing that this many people are taking the month of January to learn the simple skills that you need in order to change how you think. If you haven't already, make sure you download your Mindset Reset guide. This will help you assess the lessons of 2018. It will help you set goals for 2019. And the goals that we're setting in this program are a little bit different than the ones that you normally set. We're setting goals that are about how you think. We're setting goals about attitude. Yes, you are going to and should be assessing what you want to change in your life this year, just as I have done. But what is critical and what you're learning this month of January with me and with 200,000 people around the world is that the number one skill that you, there we go. The number one skill that you, oh shoot. Okay, hold on. There we go. Sorry. The number one skill that you need if you are going to change your life for the better, if you are going, I feel my son hovering. Would you like to come in and say hello to everybody? Oakley would like to make an appearance. Come here, bud.
I'm just getting a snack.
I know, but I could feel you hovering. So here's Oakley saying good morning. Come here, Oak.
Give me a sec.
All right, he'll be in a minute.
Can I have a cookie?
You may not have a cookie.
All right.
Nice try. You know I'm distracted. So here is Oakley Robbins.
Woo! I'm back, guys.
He's back. He's back and ready for action.
All
Okay.
Right, now I'm leaving.
Do you mind cooking breakfast after I'm done with this broadcast?
I didn't have. No, I had breakfast. I had pancakes.
Okay. Thank you. Just so that people can hear what I'm talking about, because we've got some really important things to discuss today. Okay. So, and in the freezer he goes. Okay. Thanks, buddy. So first, I want to start by talking about a few wins and a few highlights. Yesterday, we were talking about the 2019 goals that I have set, how I think about goals and themes, and then break it down into actions. And then I had you do an exercise in visualization. If you did the exercise in visualization, give me a thumbs up in the comments, okay? And also, tell me a little bit about how you found the visualization exercise to go. Many of you wrote to us and said you had never visualized before. Many of you wrote to us and said you had no idea that there was so much science, brain science, behind why visualizations work. And in learning about the neurons that create sort of a filter in your mind and how you can encode that filter so that your mind starts spotting things that are connected to the things that you visualize about. It was very, very eye-opening for all of you. And so I was thrilled to hear this. And so I want to know, did you try it? Did you look at all of your goals? And did you wake up this morning and spend 20 seconds visualizing yourself in the future in a specific situation where you have achieved your goals, where you've gotten that raise, where you've found the love of your life, where you have found the house of your dreams, where you have launched that business, where you have gotten healthy? And then feel the positivity. That's the two-step process that is scientifically proven to help you change literally the neural pathways and the fabrics in your brain to help you filter the world in a different way. There's science behind it. So I want to hear what your experience was like with it. We had a couple wins yesterday. I want to give a huge shout out to Jill. I'm going to screw up your last name, Jill Camille Wagaspak. I'm sorry, I just did a terrible job with that. Dyslexia makes it very difficult for me. I get panicky when I have to read people's names. I talked yesterday about how I've started micro exercising, so I have a commitment to exercise for 5 minutes every single day, even if I'm sick, even if I'm traveling. I've got 5 minutes, so do you. Jill tried it. And I loved the fact that she said that I hated every second of it. Yeah, sister, me too. But I did it and I was so proud. I kept hearing you say there's no excuse for not fitting in 5 minutes. This is an incremental goal that will change your life. So I'm proud of you. Shelly Wickens, she got on her treadmill at 6:30. She visualized herself doing a 10K walk in 6 months. That is fantastic. Here's why visualization works. I'm going to make this last point, and then we're going to jump into today's lesson, which is about the two modes that your brain operates in, and why it is essential for you to understand these two modes in order to change your mindset, and also how you can start to switch in between the two modes of your brain. Super cool stuff. But first, for Shelly, she visualized herself doing a 10K walk in 6 months, and I bet she felt very happy and very proud as she did that. Why is that important? The reason why visualization and picturing yourself succeeding and allowing yourself to feel the happiness and the pride that comes with picturing a positive future. The reason why that's as important is, let's say Shelly does that every single day this week. Every day she wakes up, she walks for 5 minutes, and as she's walking on that treadmill, she's visualizing herself finishing a 10K in 6 months and how proud she is. Every time she does that, she is changing what's going on up here. This isn't something I made up. This is true. And it's not only true based on science, but let's think about this from a common sense perspective. If Shelly wakes up, or if you wake up every single morning, and instead of thinking about the worst case, instead of looking at your body in the mirror and going, I'm so fat, I'm so out of shape, I'll never run a 10K, this is never going to happen. Why didn't I exercise last year? I hate my flabby stomach. I hate my big thighs. I hate how out of shape. I'm embarrassed to go. If that's what you're thinking, then that is what you're allowing your brain to continue to filter the world through. If you start teaching yourself the skill of visualizing a positive outcome and feeling the pride that comes with achieving that positive goal, what happens for you right now is you start to think like the kind of person that does a 10K. If after an entire week, what Shelly does is she looks in the mirror and she goes, I'm getting stronger every day. I'm really proud of myself. Even though I'm feeling flabby, I'm not saying you're flabby, Shelly, but even though I'm feeling flabby, I'm doing the work. I can do this. What happens a week from now is when she sees a registration for a 10K, the old mind that wasn't programmed correctly would go, oh, you're fat, you're out of shape, you're not prepared for that, don't sign up. But the new mind, because she's been visualizing every single day, the new mind just 7 to 10 days later is going to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm in shape, I'm proud, I'm doing this. Why don't you sign up? It's going to filter the world in a very different way because you're training it to. This is the heart of doing a mindset reset. And this is why visualization works and why it's an important step and why I'm so glad you're doing it. Now I want to get into the two modes of the brain, the default mode and the direct mode. Okay? You've got two modes in the way in which your brain operates, the default mode and the direct mode. And we've gotten a question before I explain it because I want to explain the default mode and the direct mode. So default I call autopilot. That's like when your thoughts drift. It's when you're on autopilot. It's when you go through your day without even thinking. The direct mode is the mode where you're present, where you're in the moment, where you're controlling what you think about, okay? And I'm going to teach you through the Mindset Reset program to catch yourself when you're on autopilot or default and to take control of what you're thinking about and switch into the direct mode when you need to. And the reason why this is important has to do with a question that we get all the time. And we got this question from Karen Truitt. What can I do to teach myself to stop thinking worst case scenarios when it comes to making changes in my life? How many of you can relate to that? You know you want to make changes, you got a lot you want to do in your life, but then you start thinking about those changes and you immediately start catastrophizing. You start worrying, you start thinking about all the reasons why it's not going to happen. This is so common, and the reason why it's common is because somebody in your past either trained you to think this way, or you've had so many bad things happen that you've trained yourself to assume and predict that bad things are always going to happen to you. And that is a terrible, terrible way to live your life. And I know a lot of you do. And so we want to change that. And the reason why it's a terrible way to live your life is because there will be bad things that happen. There will. It's a fact of life. But if you are constantly allowing your mind to default to thinking that bad things will happen, or thinking that you're out of shape, or thinking that you're a loser, or thinking that you're not worthy, or thinking that things aren't going to turn out, it becomes your default mode of thinking. And so just like we talked about yesterday with visualization, your default mode of thinking, scientists call it the default mode network. Just like what we were talking about yesterday with the filter and how it sees the world around you. The default mode network is a series of neurons in your brain that has automated certain things, okay? And the reason why we have a default mode network is because we need it. There's so many things that you and I have to do every single day that shouldn't require us to do a lot of thinking. Let me give you an example. When you walked into the bathroom this morning and hopefully picked up your toothbrush to brush your teeth, you either picked it up with your right or your left hand. Now, you didn't think about it. You didn't have to use the direct mode of your brain and go, okay, let me move my hand and go pick up with my right hand the toothbrush. You just defaulted to something that you do all the time. Oh my God, my computer is dying again. Hold on. I guess live streaming takes up a huge bandwidth. That's what I'm learning because I started this with like 35% on my computer. So I don't want to lose you. So the default mode network is really important because it allows us to automate things that we do all the time. Like I can pick up my cup of coffee, take a sip of the coffee goes down my throat and hits my stomach. I don't have to think about that. It happens on default. So it's an essential thing that you need because when you learn how to do things on default, you can do them without thinking. Very important for you so that you're not taxing your brain all day. When you learn to write with your right hand or your left hand, it becomes part of the default mode network. When you learn to speak English or Spanish or Swahili or Portuguese or whatever language you speak, it becomes part of the default mode network. You don't even have to think about it to do it. That's a very important function of your brain. Here's the problem. The problem is thinking patterns become part of your default mode network. So if you're someone like Karen who wakes up and you have all these dreams and aspirations, but your default mode is to think about the worst case scenario. Your default mode is to say, I'm an imposter, I'm a loser, I'm not likable, nobody likes me, I'm not lovable. It has become part of your default mode network. And it's super important for you to realize that just like I could go from being a right-hander and teach myself how to be a left-hander, it is the exact same process for you to go from somebody who defaults to thinking negative garbage to becoming somebody who thinks directly. And just like learning to go from writing with your right hand to teaching yourself to write with your left hand, it is going to be a process, not an event. It is going to require you to switch out of the mode where you automatically grab the pen with your right hand and you direct your thoughts to deliberately grab this pen with your left hand. In the beginning, Your handwriting is going to blow. You're not going to be able to read it very well. It's not going to feel familiar. It's going to feel clunky. The same thing is true with when you start to switch your thoughts from the things that you default to being very direct and deliberate, to thinking things that are positive, that are supportive, that are optimistic, that are full of possibility. This is the work of changing the patterns in your mind. There's no other way to do it. And you can do it. Just like you could teach yourself to go from defaulting from being a lefty to being direct and concentrating and teaching yourself to write with your right hand. You can do it. It's going to require you to move from default or autopilot into a direct way of thinking. Now, a couple things I want you to do today. I want you to realize that you are in default mode, according to Dan Gilbert of Harvard, who wrote Stumbling into Happiness, 46.9% of the time. That's half of the day you're in autopilot mode. That's fine when autopilot are just kind of the things like writing or driving a car or drinking a cup of coffee or pulling on your pants or answering the phone or texting somebody. It's not a good thing when the default mode is, I suck, life isn't going to turn out, nobody loves me, I can't do anything right, I'm not worthy, my life is never going to turn. When autopilot's great, when it's helpful, it's horrendous for you when it is working against you. So here's what I want you to do. We started yesterday with the exercise of visualization, and we're going to link in the email to the video because I think it's important if you didn't watch it that you watch it again. So in the email that's going out later, you'll see it. If you're still not getting the emails, I don't know what to tell you. I'm really sorry about that. Just go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset, sign up again. Also, all of these videos are in a playlist on YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, the first video in the mindset playlist, boom, it's right there. The most recent video was the one on visualization yesterday. Oh God, Ken, my daughter was just FaceTiming me. Okay, another thing that happens during a live stream. I guess I forgot to turn on Do Not Disturb. Guarantee you she calls me again. What do you want to take the over or the under on that one? So here's what I want you to do. If you haven't watched the visualization thing, you probably should watch it because I explain a lot of science in it. And guess what visualization is? Visualization is training you to go from default to direct. That's why it works. Visualization is a form of going from the default mode where you think negative to a direct mode where you're in the right now and you're directing your thoughts and you're in control of what you're thinking. And that's why it works, and that's why it's so cool. So today I want to take it a step further. Today, all I want you to do is I want you, as you go out throughout your day, I want you to notice when your thoughts drift. That's it. That's it. As you go through your day and things are happening, I want you to notice, am I present or am I drifting and saying something that's really nasty to myself? And if you do catch yourself saying something nasty to yourself, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start to write down for me and for you, what is your version of nasty? What is the default mode that got programmed into your brain a long time ago? Maybe it was your mother who said terrible things to you. Maybe it was your father who was abusive. Maybe you were in a relationship that destroyed you. Maybe you had an emotionally abusive boss. Maybe you got a divorce and you feel like you're unlovable. Whatever it is, there's a default mode that that you have that we got to get rid of, seriously. And the way that we're going to get rid of it is we got to unearth it. So today, I want you to pay attention. This is going to be a very confronting exercise for a lot of you, because when you shine the spotlight on things that are underneath the surface, you can start to feel heavy. It's normal. Normal, normal, normal. And when you start to unearth what your default mode of thinking is, write about it in the comments, because we're going to be watching you all day and we'll be in there in the comments, and we're going to address then what to do about it tomorrow. Because first step is identifying the thing you're not even aware that you're doing. So you may know that you beat yourself up, but what's your flavor of it? Mine is that I'm not a good person and that people don't like me. There's also a flavor around there of fear of disappointing people. And it comes up all the time. I was talking with somebody after this yoga class yesterday, and I could feel this rising up that I was concerned about whether or not this person actually liked me. And it's not them that's judging me, it's me that's judging me. And so the fear of disappointing people, the fear of being judged, the fear that I'm not enough, it's still present in my life. But I have the ability, because I understand that it's a default mode that I go to immediately go, oh, there I go. I just switched into that default mode that's there from childhood. Boop, I'm going to be direct and in the moment right now. I don't believe that that's true. And I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing. All right, that's a lot for today. Let me quickly recap. You're teaching yourself today about autopilot or default mode versus being direct and in control of your thinking. All day long, all I want you to do is notice when your thoughts drift and you drift into autopilot. You're not really paying attention. Notice what is the negative thing that you say to yourself on default. Write it down, investigate it, put your detective hat on. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't think I'm worthy. Oh, that's interesting. I think I'm an imposter. Oh, wow. I don't think I matter. No wonder I'm offended all the time. Wow, this is fascinating. Okay, that's my default mold. How cool that I'm going to take the month of January with Mel and 200,000 people, and I'm going to do a reset and actually change my default mode in my brain so that I can be direct about what I want to think about. All right, cool. I got to go. In case nobody else tells you today, I want to be sure to tell you that I love you and I believe in you and I believe in your ability to make your life and your dreams come true one step at a time, and that's why I'm here. I'm here because I'm doing the same thing, and nothing brings me greater joy than inspiring you to do it too. All right, I will see you tomorrow. The email will go out in a little bit. Oh, shit, we lost the signal. Oh, I didn't mean to swear on Instagram. Oops, I don't know why we lost the signal, but we did, and we lost it for a long time. So we're going to figure out how to rip this off of Instagram and get it somewhere else. That's a real bummer. Okay, bye.